Holy crap, it is cold today. Oh man.
And it was cold that day. In fact, for the last week, we've been sitting in the low 20s. And now, with 6 inches of snow and ice on the way, if I was going to get anything done in this shop, I was going to have to figure out how to heat it. Yet, with so many options full of buzzwords and jargon, what type of heater would actually suit my needs? And that's what I needed to find out.
Guys, it is a breezy 24 degrees here in northern North Carolina. And I figured today would be a really great day to show you what the actual difference in the heating and insulating capacity is of this building as it is installed. A lot of people have questions as far as like, you know, if I get the factory insulation pre-installed, should I add something more than that? Is that sufficient? What will that actually do? I thought this would be a really great scenario with it being 24 degrees outside to show you what the internal temperature is now and essentially what it will take to heat something like this up.
Right now, you're probably thinking, this guy can't be serious. And honestly, no, I'm not. But I did want to set a baseline. And although these $100 electric heaters are pretty popular, heating my shop is going to be a bit outside of its league.
This is a 1500 watt Dr. Infrared. It's an electric heater that puts off about 5,000 BTUs. Although it's really good for like a single room, the amount that it costs to run something like this often isn't very energy efficient, and it's not going to heat up a very big space. This type of heater is another great option. Although it's made for more between 300 to 500 square feet, it's 10,000 BTU and can heat a space pretty quickly. It also runs off of kerosene or clean heat that you can get from places like Lowe's or Walmart. We have back here a Dynaglow, I believe it's a 10,000 BTU heater. And I wanted to just show you what the starting temperature is today outside, what it is inside the building, and essentially what a 10,000 BTU heater could do to a building like this and raise the temperature. I don't expect to do much. However, I do think it'd be a pretty interesting thing as far as a control to see what the BTU output is and how it does increase that temperature over time. That being said, let's go ahead and just fill this thing up, get it started, and see what it does. So this is an old heater that we had already on the farm. It is actually a Kerosene Radiant 40. I think I said Dynaglow earlier, but it's essentially the same thing. You'll see different brands, makes, and models of the same design. Ultimately, it's a 10,000 BTU kerosene heater. All right, it's lit. Now, let's just see how long it takes to warm this place up.
It goes without saying that a lot of things go into figuring out which size heater will work best for you. Everything from the insulation thickness to building design will have to be taken into consideration. The more windows and doors you have, the more difficult it'll be to control the temperature in your building. For some of you, a radiant floor heater like this will work well, but for a space this big and in this type of cold, it's not going to work great for me.
All right, so it's been exactly 2 hours since I've turned this heater on, and let's see how much it's actually increased the temperature in this 30 by 40 metal building. So as you can see now, the temperature is slightly raised, but we're at 45. I will say that it was at 47 when I first walked into the door, but by opening the door and letting that cold air in, you can tell obviously it didn't take long to start cooling back down in here. So that's where we're at today.
With the weather warming and ice melting, I thought I wouldn't be able to test my other heater. That was until...
As you can see, we're in the middle of another winter blizzard here in North Carolina, and it is about 23 degrees outside, and I figure this would be a great opportunity to show you what a bigger heater can do in this type of building with the pre-installed insulation. The insulation is doing its work. It's keeping some warm air in here. However, it's not enough to actually stay warm and do a little work. So I'm gonna go ahead and power on this Master 80 BTU that I just got from Tractor Supply, and I'm gonna show you guys how fast it can warm this entire building and whether or not it's something that I think would be great for your shop.
Now, this thing was pretty neat. It was about $250 and worked right out the box. After a quick fill up, flick of the switch, and turn of the dial, we were on our way to a heated garage heaven.
So after running this heater for the last hour and a half, where are we at? 57 degrees. That says a lot because I believe with wind chill, it's like 4 or 5 this weekend. And I couldn't have chose a better weekend to test this heater on. Even though this heater did really well, there are some trade-offs that I have to talk about. After a certain amount of time, I could tell that it was no longer increasing the temperature in the shop. Of course, I opened the door a couple times, but it was very quick and you're really getting diminishing returns in this type of weather. Now, you're supposed to run K1 kerosene in this heater, which I did, and it is a clean heat. However, after about an hour, even with a 30 by 40 shop with 12-foot walls, I did start to feel like it got a little harder to breathe. So I ended up having to open up one of these windows just slightly, and that's really just so that way I could get the air flowing. Well guys, I hope this answers some of your questions about the different types of heaters and the size that's appropriate for your shop. It depends on several things, considering what your winters are like, the type of insulation you have, and really how big of a space you're trying to control. For my shop, I think this 80,000 BTU master is gonna do the job. This isn't a traditional North Carolina winter. Even in this extreme cold, this heater is still able to do the job. So take all that into consideration and hope you guys find one that works for you. See you on the next one.